Hi, I'm Ethan Green from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Snooz white noise machine. This is one of very few white noise machines that uses an actual real fan rather than recordings, so it produces a very authentic and calming sound which is good for masking external noise that might be keeping you awake at night or interrupting your studies. So let's pop over to the table. I'm going to turn it on, play the sound to you, show you how you can adjust the tone and also the volume, and then I'll also get the app going and show you the features that you can access through the app. So without further ado, let's go and have a listen to it. Okay, before I actually turn the Snooz on, let me just explain what you get when you buy it. So it comes in this nice cardboard box here, which is a good alternative if you're not a fan of plastic packaging. Then you also get some instructions, which is good. It shows you how to use the actual device and gives you some advice about room placement and talks you through setting up the app, which is useful because some people might buy it and not even realize that it has an app until you read the instructions. And then you also get a free sleep mask, which, to be honest, it's a nice touch from the manufacturer, but it's not the best sleep mask I've ever used because it has this Velcro non-slidable, non-adjustable strap, and also a bit of light comes in through the nose. But anyway, that's not the main thing that we're here to talk about today. So here is the actual device, and you'll notice that it's got a cable coming out the back, and it's worth pointing out that it does need to be plugged in at all times to work. There's no battery option for this one. The cable is 6 foot long, so it will easily reach a socket from a table or a shelf. So to turn it on, just press the main button now. So I'm going to stop talking in a second and I'm going to play through the different volume settings. There's incremental controls from 1 to 10, and also I will slide the slider on the cap there so you can see how you change the tone. And that's it. There really isn't actually that much to do with the Snooz. You literally just choose the volume that you like and change the tone using the slidable cap. Now, the interesting thing about this one, you'll just see that the light's gone off there, and those lights on the buttons are actually the night light. There's no fancy glowing night light that comes out the bottom. It's just strong glowing buttons. They've gone off because when you get the machine, it's automatically set to turn off after 7 seconds. And to change the lighting and the night light, you need to use the phone app, which I'll use in a second. But just to show you the night light feature, here's some images that I took earlier. I think this is one of my main criticisms of the Snooz. The light is just a little bit too dim, and it's not really a night light, it's just glowing buttons. So it's worth bearing in mind that even though it comes with night light as a feature, it's not really a true night light, to be honest. Okay, so now let's have a look at the app and see what features that allows you to access. So first of all, you can use it to turn the device on and off, and that's great if you're lying in bed and you've got the device not on your nightstand but quite far away. Incidentally, it works with both Android and iPhone devices, and it's very easy to set up. You can also use it to change the volume, but what you can't do is use it to change the tone. You would still need to manually change that with the device and your hands. Now you can use it to access the night light features. You can put it on dark mode, which means that there's no lights at all. But if you don't have it on dark mode, you can have the lights on a dim brightness, medium or maximum brightness, and that's the night light feature again. Let's put that on dark mode for now. Now you can have timers as well, which I really like. I think that's a very useful feature for any white noise machine. At the moment, I've got it set from Monday to Friday, but you could also have Saturday and Sunday if you wanted to. Got it set to start at 10:30 p.m. and then stop at 6:35 a.m. the next morning. Now you see here there's fade functions, so you can have it to fade in, you can have 5 minutes, 1, 30 seconds or auto, and you can also have it to fade out. I think that's a really nice feature if you don't want a sudden starting or stopping of the device. You can add another timer if you want to, so you could have one, for example, on Monday to Friday and then a different one at the weekend. But I'm not going to set that for now. Then the final setting is the calibration. Now this is a really useful one if you're a parent of a small child. They explain what this does here and also list the research studies that led to the decision to include a calibration. And what this means is that it will automatically find the right volume that's going to be safe in the room for a small child. And that just means that you won't have to worry about accidentally playing the white noise too loudly. I think that's a really useful feature, and it's actually the only device I've seen that has that. So there you go, that's the app. There's nothing else that it does. One of my criticisms, which I'll explain more about in a second, is the fact that you need the app to access the night light and the calibration and the timers. I think it would be nice if there was at least a button or two on the device so that you could access those manually if you didn't want to use the app. But the app itself I can't complain about. It's very useful, it's very easy, and it does work well. Okay, let's do an overview of the pros and cons then of the Snooz. The things that I really like about this one are, first of all, the authentic sound that it produces. I think there's no real comparison between the authentic air sound that comes out of a machine that uses a fan and one that uses recordings, so that's a great feature. Secondly, I really like the fact that you can change the tone just by changing the side cap. You can find a sound that you like. If you use a real fan, that's great, and it's obviously a cheaper option just to have a real fan. However, you can't normally change the tone, but with this one you can. Then I like the fact that you can change the volume. I think it's good that you can have it quite quiet if you don't want the noise to be too loud, but you can also have it really quite loud. So if you need to mask external noise, then you can put it by a window and hopefully it will drown out the noise that's coming into your bedroom. I really like the fact that it has timers. That's quite unusual for a white noise machine that uses a real fan. Then there's the fact that it has the app, which, although it's kind of a criticism, I do like the fact that you can use it with an app, so you can control it without getting out of bed if you don't want to. Then I like the design itself. I think it looks quite stylish. It's quite lightweight. It looks quite large. I realized earlier when I was watching the video that if I had it too much like that, it almost looked like the size of my head. But it's actually quite small and quite compact, which means that you can put it in a suitcase. And it's really pretty light as well, which surprised me when I first picked it up. In terms of cons then, I think for me the number one thing is that it's quite expensive for a white noise machine. You can buy much cheaper, or you could even just get a normal fan and put it in your bedroom if you don't mind having some air blowing around in the winter time. Secondly, I'm not particularly fond of the fact that you have to use the app to access some of the features. I think it's a relatively simple device at the end of the day, so I think it would be good if it had a few more buttons that allowed you to set at least the timers without needing your phone app. I know some people won't mind and that they'll use their app to control a device with no problem, but not everybody does, so that's something to be aware of. Thirdly is the fact that the night light isn't really a night light in my opinion. I mean, yeah, okay, so it's a light and it's a light that works in the night, so you could call it a night light, but for me really it's just buttons with bright lights and that glow on. You can control and turn on or off. It's not really a night light. And I'm not a massive fan of the white glow that comes out or the line that's cast against the wall if it's next to a wall. So for me, if you're looking for a white noise machine with a great night light, this isn't going to be the one for you. And then a final complaint, which is only a mild one really, is the fact that you need to plug it in at all times for it to work. There's no internal battery and you can't use batteries either. But that's not uncommon for white noise machines, particularly ones that have an internal fan. So there you have it, the Snooz white noise machine. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're interested in buying it, then you can find a link to buy it in the description below this video. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch with me, see future reviews of white noise machines and other sleep products as well.